Hey there aces, Fenrir Darkfang here. Today again with one of my community showcases. I know it's been a while, I've had busy work, I was on a vacation in England, and I've done other types of videos, but hey, we're back at my main thing, am I right? Anyways, today's guest is the most logically thinking Pyro main I've ever seen. He can be an utter cunt at times, but he is generally well-meaning. Everyone, welcome TeemoTheScientist. How you doing, man?
Hello. I think everyone in the comments is gonna... Half the viewers already left. They heard my name and they're gone.
Let's not be too pessimistic about it. Anyways, thanks for joining me today.
It's fun.
Alright, anyways, let's start up right with the first question being, just explain from your point of view what you're doing and what you're doing in the community. I mean, you're making videos, pretty much everyone knows you're a YouTuber, but let's assume someone watches that who hasn't subscribed to you. How would you describe your content?
Utterly garbage? No, okay. Basically, I make Pyro-based content and explain how to play the Pyro class in a competitive format. Main reason behind this is legitimately nobody knows how to play Pyro properly, save for a few people, and there's plenty of people going, oh, Pyro is just clash in the fucking game, I can play it all day. No, that's wrong, that it is Spy be the worst class in the game, but that's another argument. Mainly it's my job to show people that Pyro is a skill-taking class, and it is at the same time fun to play.
Which is a pretty decent goal, really. I mean, me as a Spy, I would actually agree with your sentiment of Spy being the worst/weakest class in the game. Because as soon as you have some teamwork on the enemy team, your job becomes significantly harder as one. Unlike the Pyro, where your job actually becomes, at least from my experience, a lot easier once you have a team that does proper teamwork and as long as you have a job in which to contribute.
Actually, your job kind of changes into more of a defending the medic and being a babysitter rather than the usual flanking class, mainly because Pyro has really low amount of damage, but it's a lot of fun to see the enemy heavy pop Uber in and then just air blast them off a cliff and then just type in chat spam and be like, oh, okay, I killed everyone, I'm the best Pyro in the world, and immediately get headshot.
Yeah, seems about right, really, now that I think about it. What exactly is it that makes you love the Pyro so much?
Main thing is, ever since I started playing any sort of video game that was not real-time strategy, which is what I exactly started off playing with Age of Mythology, I always had a skill at close combat range and somehow managed to beat everyone for some unknown reason, both in real life and in video games. So I kind of picked the class that had close range capabilities at the time, which I didn't know Scott was better at it because I was a pop player when I picked my main class, and then I went forward with it.
Alright, sounds fair enough to me. What do you think is it that is the most important thing one can learn when starting to pretty much learn to play Pyro properly? And I know people that are gonna be watching are like, what do you mean what you gotta learn? You press W and then 1 and that's it, GG. No, but seriously, what are you looking out for in terms of game sense? What's the most important thing you have to constantly keep watch over?
Well, there are two things that are most important in the game. One of them being the major game stance in the game, which comes over time, which is being what the enemy team is doing and the enemy spy is doing, and respawn timers. If you kill the spy, you can easily press tab to see if it's a death ringer or if the spy actually died and when the spy will respawn. And after a while, you will learn how long it will take Spy to come over to your base and behind your medic. With that, you can practically tell when you should be spy checking and when you are free to roam and deal damage. Outside of that, one of the biggest issues with Pyros is pressing M2 in time and dealing the proper damage they need to do with swapping their weapons, which takes a little bit of while to learn, and one of the biggest mistakes that I see air blasting is people try to reflect by watching the projectiles, while it's far easier to reflect things by listening to sounds of the projectile or watching the animations of the enemy character while it's doing the shooting animation.
Fair enough. Next up, a question about, well, let's just change the topic over to your channel, shan't we? I don't know, how many subs do you currently have?
Almost at 11,200.
Not bad at all. As you just said before, you're pretty much focusing on making videos about how to utilize the Pyro in comp and how to use different types of mindsets in different types of situations. And I gotta say, you're doing a pretty good job at it, in my opinion. However, I do think I've heard of you saying you're gonna take a little step back in terms of how often you're gonna make videos. Why is that, and for how long is that gonna be?
That's due to my university work, and main issue is I just don't have that much time to play a game that's about consistency, which requires daily training to play, especially while playing Pyro. Pyro is much more reliant on constantly playing the video game, so you keep up with your air blast. And Pyro is kind of like math. If you kind of stop doing it, you will forget it eventually. So I kind of am slowly backing out from it, and I kind of will slowly quit it. But at the same time, if there is anything new that drops, which I know there will be Pyro updates, and there will be other changes to Pyro where I will make content towards it. But currently I'm morely rounded towards Dota 2, which does not take the muscle memory and more so a strategy type of game, so I can focus more on my school and less on the video games, and I can play it whenever I want without just being bad at it for a long while.
Okay, fair enough. Once your university work is over, are you planning on fully returning to TF2?
That is fully dependent on what will happen with the TF2, because I'm going to be in the university for a long time, at least 3 years, and afterwards I'm most likely going to be moving to Canada to do academical career, which will even take even more so of my time. It's most likely dependent on how life will go for me, and at the same time how TF2 will go. It might have, like, the current Highlander setup and Sixes setup is slowly lowering. We are getting less and less teams every season. There's a high chance that it might just die off, but at the same time I don't want to see that. If it ever grows, I'm most likely going to be coming back to it when I have the time to offer.
Alright, looking forward to that. Let's just hope it's gonna play out the latter way that you just described. Now that you are taking a step back from YouTube, and because you don't have that much time, can your subs still expect some videos every now and then?
Once in a while, I'm most likely going to, with help of my moderators, get some content up by them editing. It's just not going to be the same style. There's going to be slight differences, but it's still going to be me voicing the things whenever I feel like it. But that's going to be like once every full moon. I'm going to turn into a content creator again during the dark moon, just rip off my shirts, then sit on the computer and make something. That only like the only time I will actually properly make content. Outside of that, just expect some Dota 2 shitpost, because whenever I get something stupid, it'll take me 10 minutes to make that like 2-minute video and then put it up, unlike just like 6-hour editing for I usually do for Pyro videos.
Yeah, or me for these interviews. Let's talk about the TF2 community in general and your place in it, because you've done more than just make your subscribers happy by dishing out videos, and you've also done more than just playing comp. You've had quite a couple bigger roles in the TF2 community, a couple of them being one of them being that you're the founder of Blappichico. Would you describe the group again in your own words, with you obviously being the leader, and maybe mention a couple other things that you made for the community, or for the TF2 community, or for whomever?
Well, sure, I can do that. First of all, there is not exactly a leader in Blappichico. People kind of just look up to me when we are doing stuff, because everyone else is too lazy to do so, and I just found the first group. At the same time, they also listen to RT game, and That's about it. It's just us two doing all the work with moderators, and the rest of the people are generally just coming in and going out for events. But LabTrico is generally a charity-style group and just a friend group where we can have fun, and most people claim it's EU version of TF Crew because most of our members are in EU. Outside of that, I'm kinda in between the community from hated and loved. There's plenty of people that will like my content, and there's plenty of people that dislike me sheer to the fact do I just represent competitive and...
Well, yeah, and because you're a major shit talker, let's be honest about that.
Well, outside of that, there is generally hate towards me, mainly due to the fact that lower leagues of competitive are extremely toxic, and people tend to trash talk people who do stuff about opinions rather than comedy. And that's just, let's be honest, that's mainly due to the fact that there's a lot of people that invite the stuff because they are generally better and things like that. And I got one thing to say to those people. Anyone can just make a video and upload if they have the free time to do so. And if you're playing competitors, most likely you do. Why don't you go ahead and try doing the exact same thing rather than insulting people like Uncle Dane or me or anyone else who uploads competitive videos? That would be far better. And let's see, okay, outside of that, I've done TeemoLander, which was sort of a new players competitive Highlander thing to help new players start competitive, which went extremely well, but it consumed a lot of my time. The main thing there was to introduce new people to competitive. So I got people who had no idea how to play competitive. I teach them how to play the map and rules of the game. Afterwards, just put them in there. And now there's about 4 new teams and around 56 new people starting Highlander. While those numbers might look low for some people, for competitive that is insane because, let's say, like, I'm not even anywhere near the top. I'm like a mid. I'm in middle of the mid and top of the silver, and that falls under most likely the top 100 Pyro players, if not more. That's how little players there are in competitive scene, especially in Highlander. So it was actually a great number.
Right. The biggest critique I've heard that people have thrown your way because of the whole TeemoLander event is the fucking name of the thing. Don't get me wrong. I think no one is doubting that the whole idea behind it, the reason why you did it, was to help the competitive community and to get more people to pick up the whole idea. But a lot of people just were claiming that the name of the thing was the most egotistical thing you've ever done so far.
Yeah, the dumb thing about that is I didn't pick the name. I was like, guys, I want to do a Highlander event. What should I name it? And people just tossed out some stupid names. And then I picked the TeemoLander out of it because I was like, you know what, this is the only one that does not look completely shit. I'm just gonna grab this one. And for that suggestion, I grabbed stuff from TF Tavern, which is another place I just spearheaded the builds. One day I was like, you know what, we kind of need a Discord for every single TF2 YouTuber, and everyone was like, Timo, we don't need that. There's literally no need for this. We still have contact with each other, and I still did it, and it worked, and people are happy about it, except for like 2 dudes. Screw you too.
Well, plus it helps a lot of people like, well, specifically me, like, with the tavern you pretty much gave me a hub that allows me to just chat up people, content creators of all types from the community to drag them in for whatever reason. Thank you so much for it. You managed to give, well, unintentionally, but you gave me a basis of where I can kind of start searching for people that I can work with. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. And I know a lot of SFM artists found like people to make thumbnails for, way to promote themselves. A lot of collabs happened there, even though people were not expecting it to work at all. It was just a stupid idea, and it keeps working. I just work out with stupid ideas, and it turns out into something amazing.
You always kept saying that we shouldn't talk about the tavern outside of the tavern, and now you bring it up in a video interview which is gonna be public. You're a bit inconsistent about that rule, aren't you?
Have you seen the amount of things I put up as spoilers. People think it's a mysterious legendary place and they talk about it constantly, wonder what's inside it. While we just shitposted there furiously, and if you came in there for like 10 seconds, you will be corrupted for your entire life and would not want to go outside again, knowing that us horrible people are out there. So take me for that. Have fun. Also, that was a Fight Club joke. That the first rule of the tavern is don't talk about it. That was just a joke.
Okay, fair.
People took it serious.
Yeah, people did take it serious. Like, whenever I talked about it, everyone was like, dude, don't talk.
Who are those people? Who are those people? Are they idiots? Tell them to fight me.
I'm not gonna name the people just because I don't do defamation, but fun times. Yeah, anyways, with the tavern, I think you also did a great fucking deed for the community. Last but not least, is there any kind of shout out that you want to make towards anyone?
I can most definitely make it to plenty of people. Basically, tired of Blepiture code is there all spell guys. Just some of them are idiots, but still, if you go around, Runix, that's you. Outside of that, there's going to be a charity event coming up soon because it's summer and we promise fun. It's summer nearby. Definitely look out for that. Outside of who could I shout out in this community? That is nice. Let's see. Oh, Karma Charger. That guy's real nice. He makes a lot of review videos and just creates new weapon concepts which are hilarious to watch.
Oh, right,
and he's actually,
that guy.
Yeah.
Yes. Karma Charger, fucking shout out to you. You are a magnificent bastard.
And he just randomly found my channel and subscribed, and then I just added him, and immediately first thing he asked is if I wanted to make a video of weapon concepts, and I'm like, no, I just wanted to say hi. And he's been a really nice guy ever since. He's really mature and he's real nice. Probably the second nicest person in the community other than Nisselt. Everyone hates Nisselt, but he's probably a real nice guy when you talk to him.
Anyways, thanks for joining me today. It's been fun, it's been informative, which I also appreciate, but it's been nice to have you.
It was fun to be around. Oh, closing words. There's always some closing words that someone says something epic and then just the video ends. I got something really important.
Okay, fair enough. Come on.
Okay. I'll just send it to you as a message. I want you to read it out loud.
For fuck's sake, okay, fine. Runix, you're fat. Get over it. Fuck's sake. Anyways, again, thanks for joining in, and everyone watching, have a nice day. Always stay the ace up your team's sleeve, and just generally, goodbye.